On November 28, 2025, Trooper David Minotti was stationary on U.S. Highway 82 near Pew Circle in Chico County when he noticed a white Nissan with expired tags drive past him. He initiated a traffic stop, and as soon as he made contact with the driver, identified as Mickey Cannon, he immediately detected the strong odor of marijuana.
All right, Mr. Cannon.
Yes.
How much weed's in the vehicle right now?
No, what we smoked earlier.
Well, you know, DWI drugs is a real thing, right?
Right.
See,
As the trooper called for backup and was finishing up the stop, with the passengers already outside the vehicle, Cannon suddenly jumped back in, hit the gas, and fled east toward the Mississippi River Bridge on U.S. Highway 82. Fire and rescue arrived on scene and extricated Cannon, who appeared to be trapped inside the vehicle. Before that, Trooper Butler had used his baton to break the rear driver's side window in order to communicate with him. Cannon showed no obvious injuries other than a small cut on his hand, but he was transported to Chico Memorial Hospital for evaluation. During the investigation, the trooper learned that Cannon had an active felony warrant out of Tennessee for a parole violation, which he admitted was the reason he chose to flee. Because of his significant pre-existing medical conditions, including the use of a catheter and paralysis in his left leg, Cannon was released pending a court summons rather than being booked directly into jail. What happens when a federal fugitive decides to run from law enforcement across state lines? Chaos, destruction, and a whole string of terrible decisions. On March 8, 2024, Trooper Darren Evans was stationary at the Bridgeport Scales on Interstate 40 West when he was alerted by a 2nd Judicial Drug Task Force agent about an active pursuit involving a federal fugitive out of West Memphis. The suspect was heading toward the interstate, and the situation was already spiraling fast. Trooper Evans pulled onto Interstate 40 and attempted to intercept the pursuit.
third vehicle currently where 114 westbound coming around the 271.
114, 271 westbound, third vehicle.
Okay, I'm primary.
Primary.
TVI. 1016, roll out.
The driver was identified as Oscar Block, a federal fugitive out of Arkansas. The passenger, Patricia Morgan, told troopers that Block refused to stop despite her begging him the entire time. And to make things worse, it was her car he was driving. Imagine lending someone your car and they drag you into a multi-state pursuit. That's a whole new level of regret. Both Block and Morgan were transported to Regional One Health Hospital in Memphis for medical evaluation. Block was later charged with felony fleeing with substantial danger of death, reckless driving, speeding, no seatbelt, no insurance, and driving on a suspended license. The pit maneuver finally brought the suspect to a stop, at least for a moment. He immediately bailed out and took off on foot, sprinting like he thought the chase had just restarted. But the troopers were quicker. After a brief foot pursuit, he was caught and taken into custody. He was then hit with a long list of charges, including fleeing, possession and trafficking of cocaine, drug paraphernalia, public nuisance related to drug activity, and several more that will keep him tied up in court for a long time.
57 north, 6. Good night, Jim.
The Camry rotated clockwise, slid off the roadway, and entered the tree line on the west side of the interstate, where it struck multiple trees and overturned. Talk about a dramatic ending. The trooper approached the wreck and found the driver, later identified as Talon Bazell, unrestrained, unresponsive, and positioned near the passenger side of the vehicle. Medical personnel arrived shortly after and transported Bazell to Baptist Health Medical Center for evaluation and treatment of the injuries he sustained in the crash. A blood draw warrant was obtained and carried out at the hospital. Once medically cleared, Bazell was taken to the Pulaski County Regional Detention Center, where he was charged with felony fleeing by vehicle causing serious physical injury, DWI, open container, speeding, improper use of special plates, no seatbelt, no driver's license, no liability insurance, and failure to register a vehicle. On April 9th, 2021, troopers first spotted his vehicle speeding more than 15 miles over the limit, weaving through lanes and driving with no headlights, even though it was completely dark outside. When they attempted to initiate a traffic stop, the driver didn't back off for even a second. Instead, he hit the accelerator, cut across lanes, and ignored every signal to pull over.
I'm sorry, I'm on gravel pit road. I'm past Safaris.
10-4 on gravel pit. 71 to 16, that's going to come back out on Highway 365. That road, gravel pit only goes about 2.5 miles.
10-4, it looks like a Camaro, temp tag. Blue in color, it's an SS.
Go ahead and give me that now. Should be at 1063 around 16.
Hit on is successful.
Successful.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
The chase finally ended when Herbie pushed his luck one turn too far. After tearing through dark back roads, cutting across lanes, and blowing through stop signs, troopers closed the gap and executed a clean pit maneuver, forcing his vehicle off the roadway and bringing the pursuit to an immediate stop. This time, Herbie knew the game was over. He didn't run, didn't argue. He simply surrendered as troopers moved in and took him into custody without further incident. On January 19th, 2023, this pursuit showed exactly how things operate when the situation is extremely dangerous and taken very seriously. FHP units had located a drug trafficker in Orlando, Florida, and multiple units were already involved from the very start. When they attempted to stop the vehicle, the suspect did exactly what they expected. He fled at a high rate of speed with something very significant hidden inside his car.
Okay.
Left in the middle. Left in the middle. Pull over, I will put you. Pull over, I will put you.
Good GPS working? Hey, pull it when you can, Ricky. You got a signal put on and you got a felony. Just be careful on the bit.
The trooper gave the suspect an opportunity to stop while they were still inside a residential neighborhood. But he wanted no part of it. And given what he was hauling in that car, pulling over would have been a far better choice than trying to outrun FHP.
Coming back up this wall. Coming back to sit down, back to sit down.
Go back to Camaro. Let's go to the place. Hey, TV, right on the hour. Yeah, I'm on.
The pit maneuver finally brought the suspect to a stop, at least for a moment. He immediately bailed out and took off on foot, sprinting like he thought the chase had just restarted. But the troopers were quicker. After a brief foot pursuit, he was caught and taken into custody. He was then hit with a long list of charges, including fleeing, possession, and trafficking of cocaine, drug paraphernalia, public nuisance related to drug activity, and several more that will keep him tied up in court for a long time. On June 16, 2023, Trooper Evans was out on patrol when a blue Mustang immediately grabbed his attention. He ran the license plate and saw it was expired. He tried to initiate a traffic stop at a gas station, but instead of pulling over, the driver hit the gas and took off. Fun fact, expired tags are one of the most common reasons officers conduct traffic stops. And for some people, it's somehow a big enough reason to launch into a high-speed chase instead of just paying the registration fee.
Yeah, direct traffic, 3D41.
Traffic median. He ran off the road, but he's back on now. Speed's 36, doing this probably 185. Moving to TBI, we're going about 80 right now.
The trooper executed a pit maneuver that sent the Mustang straight into a ditch, leaving it completely disabled. The suspect, likely stunned by how fast things went downhill, decided that running on foot probably wasn't a great idea after that hit. He was arrested and taken into custody without any further issues. On July 31st, 2023, Trooper Jeb Little was sitting in traffic on Interstate 30 East near mile marker 138 when he noticed a black Nissan Altima with Texas plates blow past his unit at a high rate of speed along the inside shoulder. Because apparently traffic laws become optional when you're in a hurry. Moments later, Arkansas State Police Sergeant Corey Ray passed Trooper Little's unit in an unmarked ASP vehicle, lights and sirens fully activated. The driver saw an unmarked unit lit up behind him and basically said, "Nope, I'm not dealing with that." And that's the moment the chase officially began.
We're coming up on Dixon.
Passing on the shoulder. Staying on 530. That's no shoulder. Speed's 137 like that.
The Piet maneuver connected at a high rate of speed, sending the suspect's vehicle sliding straight into a ditch. With nowhere left to go, he finally gave up. Jeremiah Johnson was taken into custody and transported to the Pulaski County Detention Center, where he was charged with first-degree reckless driving, felony fleeing, driving without a valid license, and failure to provide insurance. Another chase wrapped up, and another driver learned the hard way that running only makes everything worse. What begins as a simple traffic stop and ends with 6 law enforcement vehicles damaged. Let me walk you through Wednesday's high-speed chase that quickly escalated into a multi-agency response. According to a press release from the Grant County Sheriff's Department, the pursuit kicked off in the IEO area near Grant 56 when Arkansas State Police troopers attempted a routine stop on 31-year-old Carlos Smith of Lamar. During the chase, speeds climbed past 90 mph as Smith tore through multiple jurisdictions. The Grant County Sheriff's Department and the Sheridan Police Department quickly joined in, turning the pursuit into a fully coordinated, multi-agency effort. Smith had several active warrants out of multiple states, including Arkansas, so it was clear he wasn't planning on surrendering easily. The chase pushed through rural county roads and into the city of Sheridan, where law enforcement made the call. This needed to end before anyone got seriously hurt. The suspect's driving became extremely unpredictable, and with his vehicle already damaged, he was drifting all over the roadway. It looked like he was moments away from completely losing control. But before he had the chance to crash into an innocent driver, officers knew they had to step in and stop him themselves. After several pit maneuvers, officers were finally able to bring the suspect to a stop. He jumped out and tried to run, but after a brief foot chase, he was apprehended and taken into custody. In total, 3 Sheridan Police Department vehicles, 2 Grant County Sheriff's Department units, and 1 city vehicle were damaged during the pursuit. That's 6 law enforcement vehicles taken out of service, all because one person thought running was a better idea than facing his warrants. On February 26, 2024, a 53-year-old man in Arkansas woke up and decided that today was the day he'd do something incredibly foolish. He made the choice to challenge the Arkansas State Troopers. Years ago, when he was much younger, he had managed to outrun them, and apparently he thought he still had that same edge. At 53, he believed he could pull it off again. Here's the problem. Arkansas State Troopers now run some of the toughest, most aggressive pursuit policies in the entire country. What might have worked for him 3 decades ago was absolutely not going to work today. This man was moments away from a brutal reality check. As the chase continued, the suspect spent most of the time riding the shoulder. There was practically no room left on the actual roadway. He was trying to slip past traffic and create distance between himself and the trooper. But this trooper wasn't out there to play games, and the suspect had no idea just how quickly he was about to learn that.
Just make sure the long thing you know is you're playing, you're going to have to play back. Come on.
No, we took that 169.
The suspect was brought to a stop with a pit maneuver, or as many like to call it, the classic ASP takedown. And in that moment, he learned the hard way that he definitely didn't still have it. His glory days were long gone. He was arrested and taken into custody without any further issues, officially bringing this pursuit to an end. So here's my question for you. Do you think someone who outran police decades ago and decides to try it again should face enhanced charges? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. On August 10th, 2024, a trooper was conducting routine-marked uniform patrol on I-75 northbound near mile marker 167 in Charlotte County, Florida. The Fort Myers Regional Communications Center notified Cape Coral Police that a gray Hyundai was being pursued. The driver had active warrants, including felony battery involving a child, and was actively fleeing from Cape Coral while officers requested assistance from the Florida Highway Patrol. Trooper pulled up alongside the vehicle and used his patrol car's PA system to give the driver a loud, clear command to pull over. But the driver refused and kept running, riding the right shoulder and weaving in and out of traffic, pushing speeds up to 110 mph while driving recklessly. The vehicle finally came to a controlled stop on the right grass shoulder. The trooper stepped out, drew his weapon, and issued loud commands for the driver to get on the ground. The driver refused to comply and tried to pull away, but the trooper quickly secured him with hand restraints. The suspect was identified as Luke Adam Arnold. EMS checked him on scene, and he declined treatment twice, once there and again later at Lee Memorial Hospital. The trooper then transported him to the Lee County Jail, where Arnold was charged with fleeing and eluding law enforcement with lights and sirens activated, along with driving on a suspended license. Those charges stack on top of his existing warrants for felony battery involving a child. At this point, Arnold is facing some very serious time behind bars. If you're thinking about tearing up the roads in Georgia, especially in a flashy ride, you might want to reconsider. But this driver clearly wasn't thinking at all. Trooper Matthews was out on patrol when a Hellcat blasted past him, and he instantly flipped on his lights and sirens. And just like that, the suspect decided to run, and the chase was on.
Either a Scat Pack or a Hellcat wide body, making his way all the way over to the right, coming up to 75.
Okay, 310, 3370, 1080. What's your 20?
Stay in connector south, stay in connector south. Yep, stay in connector south, stay in connector south. Passing up North Ave. Coming past North Ave.
As the suspect tore down the highway at an insanely high speed, probably convinced that this was it and he was absolutely getting away, reality came crashing down.
Spinning out, spinning out, spinning out. Stand by. Pit, pit, pit.
Get out! Let me see everybody's hands! Nobody move! Get your hands up! Keep the door shut! Get your hands up! Get your hands up!
Trying to go again, Atlanta. Ramming him. Stand by. He's trying to go the wrong way. He's trying to go the wrong way. We're taking... Oh. William Street, going up the wrong way on Williams. Spinning out again, stand by.
795, I'm taking the secondary.
Even though the suspect tried to take off once more, he only managed to make the situation far worse for himself. Everyone inside the vehicle was arrested and taken into custody without any further issues. And while there isn't an official public report on this pursuit, we all know the suspects are facing a long list of charges, and they won't be getting behind the wheel again anytime soon.